example, Goodell also did a bunch of the interviews after the players got selected.
Thank you for pronouncing my last name correct.
I was going to do the first name. I thought about it. You got to be proud of your little brother, aren't you? That's pretty cool.
100%. It was a moment that we'll never forget. We were anxious for a while, but when his phone started ringing, I was like, just grab it. It's a happy moment.
Proud of you. Were you surprised?
A little bit, it's exciting. Just when you feel your phone start vibrating, it's like a wave of terror almost comes over you. It's awesome.
A terror and excitement, right?
Yeah. You got the Skol chant down already?
You already know it.
You got to go like this, baby. Come on. Give it to me. Is that your first Skol dance?
Definitely is.
Don't let that smile come off your face.
Hey, whoa. It's going to be here for a couple days.
Can't wait to see him in a Colts uniform, and it's just awesome. He grew up as a little kid with Colts jersey, Peyton Manning, slippers, the Santa hat.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, he wore that Colts jersey every day in grade school.
Is that right? See, that's a small world. How about a high five, man?
Hey, give me one.
You got a hug for me? Come on. Come on. Can you?
Come on. Come on. You got it. Virtual hug, baby.
That's usually Deion Sanders' job. You want to critique Deion? What do you think?
He did a great job. I know he thinks now that job is much more difficult than I thought it was. How many questions can you ask those guys? I mean, and they're excited and elated for the moment. He did a great job, though.
Dare I think that job? All right, let's get back to the interview. That was the first interview that Roger was doing there. That was the interview with Tua Tagovailoa, who, after all is said and done, after the injury, after everything, is going to Miami, and now he is going to be teammates with Josh Rosen. They actually played each other in high school back in 2014. Tua with St. Louis in Hawaii, and then here in L.A., Josh Rosen, St. John Bosco. Tua came off the bench. He beat Josh Rosen. I'm not going to say Rosen's a bust, but now he's with his second team. And now he is behind Tua. But bust is going to be on the screen here, Deion. Tua gets to the Dolphins finally, kind of sort of as expected. Is it boom or bust for Tua in Miami?
You can't put bust in besides Tua's name. The Tua that I've seen in Alabama since his onset, stepping on the scene, has been wonderful. He's stood, he's delivered, he's exceeded expectations, he's taken them where they wanted to go and then farther. Yeah, he sustained an injury trying to make a darn play. He's not injury prone. This guy is a flat out winner. He's smart, he's professional, he's articulate, he's going to say the right things, he's going to enhance your organization, he's going to stand up in the press conference and say and speak the truth, he's going to praise the Lord. I love everything about this kid. I think he's going to be a phenomenal success in Miami.
He kind of has that leadership it factor, and you saw that in high school. That video we just showed you there, St. Louis High School back in Honolulu, and you saw that certainly with Alabama as well. Dak Prescott also has that it factor with the Cowboys, and now he has a new wide receiver to throw to as CeeDee Lamb somehow fell to number 17, and Jerry Jones sitting on the boat could not pass that one up. And once Dak gets there and signs that contract, whether it's a 1 year or a full extension, he has Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup as well. This, Deion, for an offense that was at the top of the league last year, how does CeeDee Lamb make that offense better?
You got to think for 1 second, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have lost their mind because they're betting against themselves. You're lingering with a financial situation with Dak Prescott, and you give him a poised receiver on top of the league's best offensive producing team. And this team is also top 5 in scoring, top 6 in scoring. Let me tell you something. Dak Prescott is going to be better than he was last year. I know he has some critics and some doubters, but I think he performed tremendously. How could he not? They had the most yards in the NFL in a top 6 scoring team. They're going to be better. You're going to have threats on both sides of the field. You're going to have someone in the slot that can work it and get open. And Dak is going to do what he does. And it's going to open so many more things for Ezekiel Elliott. Now all this offensive line needs to do is stay healthy because you got all the weapons you need on the outside. I just want the defense to stand up and say, hey, we're here. We're going to stop somebody so we can get the ball back into the offensive hands.
Made some defensive picks as well. Neville Gallimore, Robinson at corner, so they did add some pieces there. But when everyone thought they're going edge rusher or corner at 17, CeeDee Lamb is sitting there, and it was too good, I think we all agree, to pass up. Thank you, Deion Sanders. Let's get more on the Cowboys now from our Jane Slater.
Crazy discipline. That's how one of my Cowboys sources described this year's draft. Staying put at 17 and 51, they got what they considered to be one of the best players on the board in wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and corner Trayvon Diggs in the second round that some experts had going as high as the first. They managed to address needs at defensive line, traded up for a center who, interestingly enough, comes from Wisconsin, where recently retired Travis Frederick held from. They even got a late-round quarterback, something Mike McCarthy had wanted. In Green Bay, he developed young guys for draft value. Analysts and fans seemed incredibly pleased, and I'm told that while improving their roster is a 365, 24/7 job, they don't feel like there is a need that they have to address right now.
John Elway's game plan this offseason: become more explosive on offense. He watched Drew Lock play his 5 games at the end of the season, and he saw something, but he also saw Lock needed more talent around him to take advantage of his abilities. So Elway went and got Melvin Gordon in free agency. He got Jerry Jeudy in the first round, who many believe is the best receiver in this draft, and in the second round got KJ Hamler, who's the speedster to break the top off of defenses. And they also asked for Lock's opinion when they brought in his tight end from college before they made the signing. This is his offense, but as Vic Fangio told me, when things start up on Monday, when he can virtually start learning with their offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, it's going to be by trial and error. He said it's critical what the two of them can accomplish. He said it's going to be aggressive and they're going to push the limits. Everything falls on Drew Lock to make this offense work. John Elway has given him the keys to a lot of new toys.
The Lions used 9 picks in the draft to address needs across the board, but perhaps none more glaring than cornerback, given the departure of Darius Slay. Now enter in 3rd overall pick Jeff Okudah, cornerback out of Ohio State. Next, it was the 35th pick overall. Dynamic running back DeAndre Swift out of Georgia, added to an offense that hasn't had a 1,000-yard rusher since 2013. I asked General Manager Bob Quinn, given the uncertainty of the offseason and its programs, what's the expectation these guys are starters on day one? Immediately, he said of Okudah, I would hope that he will be the starter on day one. If there's no offseason program, could it take him a couple of weeks? Possibly. But he is a mature, smart kid. He has confidence that even with a 6-week virtual offseason program, he'll know the defense and be capable. As for Swift, Quinn said, we will use multiple backs. No doubt he'll be a big part of the package, but this will be running back by committee. All in all, Quinn wants to get these guys in the building, shake their hands, sign their contracts, and get to the practice field.
Raiders quarterback Derek Carr is paying close attention to this draft. General Manager Mike Mayock says he's received several texts from Carr that simply read, wow. That's one way to describe wide receivers Henry Ruggs and Bryan Edwards and versatile running back Lynn Bowden. The 4th round of the draft brought cornerback Amik Robertson to the silver and black. Robertson says he has a point to prove, not just that the Raiders didn't make a mistake, but that they drafted the best DB in this class. Fellow 4th rounder guard John Simpson joins a deep squad of Clemson Tigers heading to Vegas. That includes 3rd round pickup linebacker Tanner Muse. So after 3 days, 7 picks, Mayock says that speed, versatility, and toughness comprise the first ever Las Vegas Raiders draft class.
Those players are heading to Vegas. We obviously did not for the draft, but here's the best part about this draft and the draft-a-thon. It's raising money. Look at that. More than 100 back with me now as we include, gentlemen, not just the draft, but free agency as well. Brian, start with you. Which team, now that the draft is over, has improved the most this offseason?
Well, I think you got to start with Tampa Bay because obviously you begin with the GOAT and then you add Gronk and the thing, they added another offensive lineman in free agency in the draft. Their first pick was the offensive lineman out of Iowa, Wirfs. So, yeah, I mean, right away, Tom Brady, he's got a group around him now.